Okay, 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 okay. Okay. Um, this is a simple and quick message because I have stuff to do. You know, these days I've been busy with projects that I want to do. First of all, we give thanks to the Creator, as we call him, as we call the Creator in different dialects of the African continent. As we call him by Atana Nyumo, Mauso Wolisa, Mungu, Modin Mo, and different dialects. Olodumare, Chuku, Osanubua. We give thanks to the people who also lay down their life as a sacrificial lamb for the liberation and the struggle of the African continent. Mabasui, mbebe kikani ma bebre. Sese ye de boa ye bibri man no. Ne dachi bibri man so enya baby pa agina. Mpanyufo a mo hwe me. Me cheche woni na. Me ma woni na akwaba. Ye frame Kwabena Wiredu Katechi. Na minchi bia mimpese me chere wa ha. Besi me kan ntem free akọ. Because mo niema sisi me ye. Mo nkrofo sisi me free. Ni sa niema ni na. Na minua Ghana fo. Ene minua mo a omo Africa man ohuro ni nara. So Nigeria, so Gambia, so Sierra Leone, so Rwanda, so Congo, so Lesotho. Baby will be so African in the diaspora, ocean me free Europe, ocean me free Asia, ocean me free America, ocean me free the Caribbeans, ocean me free the whole world in me cheche woni na ekaro Otutuoma, greetings, one love. We are all one people. It doesn't matter where you come from in the continent. We are all one people. We bleed the same blood. We are all people of we all have melanin. Yes, we are all black people. We are all Africans. I don't consider myself as somebody who belongs to a country, though. I see myself as somebody who belongs to the continent. I'm a treasure for the continent. I see myself as an African. Okay, so if you come, just share the video. If you come, just share the video. Because of my audience, not all of them understand the three dialects. So I'm gonna mess it up. I'm gonna mess up the language. Yeah, I'm gonna mess up the language. This message goes straight to African politicians. It goes straight to the African youth. It also goes straight to the all African people. Now, what I want to address is that the military in the Motherland. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about opportunities. I also want to talk about a lot of stuff which is going to be beneficial to us all. I mean, we cannot change the past. The past is the past. We cannot change the past. But what you can do is to focus now on the future. We had many great revolutionaries. We have many great activists. We have many great Pan-Africanists. We have many great fighters who laid out their life for the total liberation of the black race and the total liberation of the African continent. We have likes of Kwame Ture, we have likes of Sekou Toure, we have likes of Gamal Nazar, we have likes of Muammar Gaddafi, we have likes of, India Amin, we have likes of, a whole lot of people who came and fight for African liberation. We don't forget Honorable Patrice Lumumba. We don't forget Thomas Sankara, a whole lot. Many people who sacrificed their life. Now, how can you sit in a country whilst the military is not strong? The people who are invading the African continent now, some of them don't have passports, they don't have visas, and anyone can wake up and enter into our continent. And when they enter into our continent, do you know what they do on our continent? They're exploring our continent. And so sad that the African royals have become sellouts. They have become coons. And they'll be selling their resources to foreigners. And the foreigners will say thank you very much and go back to their own countries and fix the countries. That's why nobody cares about our continent. People crossing desert, losing their life. And then all of a sudden, they go to Europe, they go to Germany, they go to Belgium, they go to France, they go to different parts of the Western world. And they are not treated as human beings. They've been disrespected. They go to China and they disrespect them. They go to different parts of the world and they disrespect them. I mean, we are here fighting a waste battle. America also has this problem. When you go to some parts of America, people of African descent are not respected. Look at what is going on in South Africa. A Muzungu calling the indigenous people in the South African land monkey. Racial abuse. Disrespecting them in their own continent. And when you go to these people's also continents, they also don't treat us as a human being. Look at how our people are being maltreated in the Arabian countries. When are we going to wake up as a people? Our military is weak. Our migration system is weak. People struggle to get jobs. There's a whole lot going on in the African continent. There's a whole lot going on in the African continent. My message to the African people, African youth, what are you doing? Some of them have internet, but instead of making good use of the internet, they rather come online, fool around. Unnecessary posts. Stuff that is not beneficial to our continent and to our people. That's what the African youth have invested in. What are you doing about agriculture? Why are the people not investing in agriculture? Go to the Gambia. Look at what is going on in the Gambia. Look at what is going on in Congo. Look at what is going on in Cameroon. In Cameroon, the Francophone speaking area and the Anglophone speaking area have, conflict. Until when will our people wake up? When our people go to Libya, they are being maltreated by the Arabs. Our military is weak. And when people even join the military, there's not enough resources. If I was control of the Ghanaian military and other African military, there's going to be a change. We need to create more opportunities and invest in our militaries. When people join our militaries, they should be able to benefit from it. Because our military back home in the continent is not strong, all of our people want to join the Netherlands, the German, the French, the American, and you name it, military, because there's a lot of benefit in those military, which they benefit a lot from it. But when it comes to our own continental military, there's not enough resources to help the African youth. People have graduated, but there's no jobs. There's no jobs. We sit down for foreigners from China, from different parts, to come into our continent, make money. When a Lebanese comes to our continent, they make money. When the Indian come to our continent, they make money. When the Japanese come to our continent, they make money. When you name it, when the Arabs come to our continent, they make money. And listen, Dubai is becoming an empire because the Arabs invest into their own countries, provide enough resources, and look at where Dubai is today. Rwanda is doing a great job, which I applaud Rwanda, but there's a lot to do. We need to invest in our militaries. We need to create jobs. We need to create opportunities so that nobody will waste their money to come to different countries and be more treated as slaves, treated as dogs, treated as non-human beings. And we have a corn artist known as Akufo-Addo. A corn artist known as Akufo-Addo, talking about reparations. I'm not saying calling for reparation is wrong. But what is he doing for Ghana? Talk about jobs. The youth don't have jobs in Ghana. People have to hustle on the streets. People have to struggle to make ends meet in the Ghana country. Same as Nigeria, same as Sierra Leone, same as Togo, same as the Gambia. You mentioned the different countries in the continent of the African continent. People have to struggle. They have to hustle on streets. There's not enough resources in the continent. So when everybody wake up, when everybody wake up, they want to go to Okodoyibo and being treated as animals. Even in South Africa, I know some South Africans will fight me, but I have to be real over here. Look at what Stephen Biko was saying. Now, these descendants of colonizers in South Africa are not bringing peace. They are misbehaving in South Africa. Even the South Africans are not being respected by these people, these settlers in South Africa. I mean, go to Pretoria in South Africa. They have their own neighborhood. Some areas you can't share the same neighborhood with them. We need to wake up and build our continent. My message goes to all African politicians. Focus on the military. Make the military, make the military strong. Let them know that our military is also a powerful military. Invest into the military. Provide more resources in the military. We have to protect our borders. Look at Europe. When you come to Europe illegally or America illegally, they protect their borders. This is what Africans also have to do. We have to also protect our border so that no invader will invade into our territories and be robbing us of our resources. We'll be creating opportunities. We'll be making our continent a greener pastures once we sit in our continent and there's nothing we can benefit out from. Talk about hospitals. Some area in Ghana, people are sick and there's nowhere to take them to. Same in different African countries. Some people have no access to resources that is going to be beneficial for them. And it's so sad that our African youth go to Okodoyibo, and when they go to Okodoyibo, they don't want to come back home. Because why? The African leaders are thieves. The African politicians are thieves. They take the resources in the continent and they go to their former colonies and contribute to their former colonies countries. And the former colonies countries are benefiting whilst the people in Africa are suffering. We are in the 21st century. But yes, nothing has changed. Go to some areas in the West, they say because of the color of your skin, we can't offer you a job. Discrimination. And when you go to some areas of the West, when the Africans are working, some of them spit in their faces, some of them told them that, get out from here. They treat them with police. A whole lot. Being maltreated by Westerners. We need somebody. The youth need to wake up. The youth need to stop playing around and wake up. We need a youth to control political affairs. We need a youth to run for president. We need visionary youth. We have many likes of Wademaya. We have many likes of Osman Ture. We have many likes of great, young, Africans who are smart, that can, when you give them opportunity, they can help and make our continent one of the greatest continents on earth. But yes, nobody is giving them the attention. Look at the tourist area. When it comes to the West, they invest into tourism. But look at our continent. We need to invest in tourism because that's where we're going to benefit a lot as well. When we will wake up as a people, it's 21st century, but yet our people are not benefiting from the resources in their own continent. The military is weak. We need to build our military. The people need jobs. They need to provide jobs. Ejuma ni krom ho. Esese omoma juma ba krom ho. Omoma juma ba krom ho a na itima boa efenese mebu no. Dabena bibiman ye be sorry. Dabena bibiman nyansa Nyankopon dia to ye trim no ye be ye juma. Chinese ne de ka oni na timi ba ye krom ho no mo disrespect yen omo mbuyen omo de ye ni twitwi form omo timi ka fun kire yen so nenso ye ko mo krom ho so a no mo omo ye nkwa. This is the time for us to wake up. This is the time for us to wake up and build our continent. God is not going to come from nowhere to help you. You have to do something. He gave you the wisdom. You have to use the wisdom. When will our people wake up? My message goes to Muhammad Buhari. What are you doing? Look at what you have done to Nigeria. You caused Nigeria pain. There's no jobs. So too much Yahoo in Nigeria. There's no jobs in Nigeria. So too much Yahoo in Nigeria. Duping people here and there. They are hungry. They are struggling. The struggle in Nigeria is real. Enslavement. We hate our own self. Xenophobia in South Africa. Tribalism. Look at where we are now as a continent. The Kwame Nkrumah Ghana he left behind is not the same Ghana we know today. We need to wake up. We need to wake up. Too much nonsense going on in the continent and nobody's doing anything about it. Nobody is saying something about it. Our military is weak, so any stupid, lunatic person can get out from his country and invade into our territory. We need to wake up. This is 21st century. We need to build our continent. People need jobs. We need hospitals. We need access to water. We need access to many stuff that we need access to, but we don't have access to it. Look at the roads, potholes here and there. We need to fix it. Go to the west, look at their roads, and compare it to our roads in the continent. Nobody cares. An African leader can sit down, taxpayers' money he gains from the citizens and the people of the continent, he take it to the Western world and build a Western world, and the Western world become powerful. Now China is fighting for superpower. Back in the olden days, it was Portugal, it was France, it was other places in the Western world which was superpower. For so many years ago, Spain used to be superpower. Basically, colonialism in the continent was just superpower reasons. We need to wake up. NDC, MPP in Ghana is useless. Two useless parties. There is an independent person running, but Ghanaians are not giving them the attention because the person is not MPP, it's not NDC. We need to wake up. The Nigeria that we know today is not the same Nigeria we know today. Look at what is going on in Uganda. Look at what is going on in Kenya. What are we doing to build our various countries, our various hopes? What are we doing to build our continent? Look at the militaries. We need jobs. We need to invest into things that are going to be beneficial for the African people. We need to wake up. The Western world is ahead of us. Scamming in the continent. Everybody want to be a preacher in the continent. Because they know that when they become preachers, they'll get money. Everybody want to be a pastor. Everybody want to be imam. Everybody want to be a certain minister. Because there is money. Because religion in the continent is business. Religion in the African continent is business. The preachers don't care about what is going on in our continent. We need to build our continent. We need to make our continent one of the greatest and well-respected one. What are we doing? What are we doing as a people to build our African continent? Kwame Nkrumah did a lot from Ghana. But Ghanaians are ungrateful. Ghanaians are ungrateful. Ghanaians are ungrateful to Kwame Nkrumah. We need to wake up as a people. MPP and NDC is bogus. There's nothing beneficial from the MPP and NDC party. They can do nothing for Ghana. We need independent people to control the affairs of the continent. We need the likes of Osman Toure in Ghana. We need the likes of Julius Malema in other African countries. Corruption, greediness, backbiting. Look at where our continent is today. We need to wake up. We need to wake up as a people. 21st century, we look at where we are today. We need to wake up. The African youth need to wake up. We need a revolution. Politicians are liars. They come and make big promises, but there's nothing they are doing for their own various countries and their own continents. Look at what Ghanaians, excuse me to say, look at what Ghana royals are doing. Selling lands to foreigners. And then an ambassador, a French ambassador to Ghana, they make her a development queen. Like, sometimes I want to question what is wrong with the Ghana people. The Ghana community. I'm not insulting the Ghana community, but I'm being real over here. The principles that the great Ghana forefathers do for the Ghana land. Look at today. Look at what is going on in the Ghana land. Selling lands to foreigners. Because they'll make money, because they'll get something in return, so they sell their dignity. And you want to be respected. How can you be respected once you sell your own dignity? Look at what is going on in Mauritania. Look at what is going on in Niger. Look at what is going on in Togo. Look at what is going on in other countries. Yet people are quiet. To when will we wake up? To when we will build our continent? To when will we put what is important on the table? You think America is heaven? You think America is heaven? You think the Western world is heaven? So you don't care about your continent. You want to stay in the Western world. Because when you stay in the Western world, you get whatever you want. And you don't care about your people in the continent. African leaders have so many degrees in different universities, but yet the use of the degree, they are not the main use of the degree. There's nothing beneficial as from African leaders. They are working with, they are working with people. They are working with people who don't care about them. A Congolese brother was shot in some parts of America. The Congolese brother was a refugee. He was shot by the cops in America. There was also a Congolese killed in Brazil just because he's seeking greener pastures there. When will African people wake up? It's time. Stop investing in the West. Invest in your continent. The money you make in the West, invest in your continent. If you are Ghanaian, do what is necessary. Help Ghana economy. If you are Nigerian, contribute to things that are beneficial for Nigeria. If you're Togolese, contribute to stuff that is going to be beneficial for Togo, the Togo country. If you're Congolese, invest and help what is beneficial to the Congo. If you're from Gambia, do the same. If you're from Benin, do the same. If you're from Niger, do the same. If you're from Mauritania, do the same. If you're from Angola, do the same. If you're from Kenya, if you're from Uganda, if you're from Rwanda, if you're from South Africa, if you're from Lesotho, if you're from Eswatini, whatever you have to do to contribute to your various African countries, do it. If Africans wake up and do what is necessary and do things that is beneficial for the African continent, in the next 56 years to come, Africa is going to be one of the greatest continents ever, and foreigners will be running into our territories just to see greener pastures. Look at what Thomas Sankara did for Burkina Faso. Nobody's here to talk about the wealth Thomas Sankara again. Thomas Sankara was selfless. One of the presidents who put Burkina Faso first. Thomas Sankara did a lot for Burkina Faso. He was not thinking about acquiring wealth. He was a visionary leader. That's who Thomas Sankara was. Our brothers and sisters in the continent wants to go to Europe, wants to go to Asia, wants to come to America. And when they come to these areas that I mentioned, they are being more treated, being disrespected. Until when will African politicians wake up? My message to all Kenyans here: you need to wake up. Don't just vote for any corrupt leader. Kenya has suffered a lot. Kenya need a leader who's going to help make Kenya a better country. We need to wake up. This is 21st century. We need to invest into our military. Our military should be one of the places where the African youth can benefit a lot from. We need to, use our herbal medicines. There's so many herbalists who are using the natural herbs to cure diseases, but the government is not paying attention to them. Until when we will wake up as a people? I watched a video and I had enough respect for the Chinese guy. He said, "You people have been colonized for so many years, but yet look at where we are today." And he was speaking facts. He was speaking facts. We need to wake up, my people. When we say the truth, people say, "You hate these people, you hate these people, you hate these people." Me, I don't have no time to hate nobody. My time is for the liberation, the freedom of my people. When my African people are not free, I'm not free. That's my main focus. I care less about anything else. My main focus is that my people will be liberated, will be free. When are we going to wake up as a people? The Ukraine government says that he wants to send wheat and other stuff to Africans. So Africans should contribute to the Russia-Ukrainian war. You are sick in your head. No African should fight in the Russia and Ukraine war. If you do that, then you're stupid. You should not do that. There's racial discrimination, disrespect in Ukrainians to African people. The people in Ukraine are racist to the African people. And you want to fight in Ukraine war. You want to die for Ukraine? You are sick in your head. You don't want to die for your own continent, your own country. Instead of you to fight for your own country, you don't want to do it. You want to fight for Russia and Ukraine. Let the fight of Russia and Ukraine be between these two people. Take yourself out and focus on your own continent, your own various country, Africans. Build it and forget about Russia-Ukrainian war. It's time for us to wake up. Politics in the continent is mind games. Everybody wants power. Everybody wants to build their empire. Everybody wants to do, to spend the money of the citizens and waste the money of the citizens on unnecessary stuff they have to invest in to make African continent a better continent. They don't do it. And look at where we are today as a people. Nobody respects us. Nobody respects us. We are being abused in Arabian countries. People are doing, people are doing stuff in Europe that they don't want to do. They have to go and sorry to say, they go to other areas and they are being maltreated. They go and work for racist people, and the racist people abuse them, and they cannot talk about it. Look at what happened in Italy recently. They killed a Nigerian immigrant in Italy, and Muhammad Buhari have said nothing about it. Instead of Muhammad Buhari to focus on Nigerians and diaspora's issues, he's not doing anything. Instead of Akufo-Addo to focus on Ghanaians and the diaspora's struggles, he doesn't do that. Until when will Africa wake up? Nowadays I don't talk much because my main focus is to do what is necessary. Our education system in the African continent is poor. They don't teach what they have to teach. Our education system is being controlled by the West. We need to wake up as a people. It's sad that freedom fighters who lay down their life for the total liberation of the African people are being disrespected by some African people. I'm not saying all, but some. All in the name of politics. I've said enough. We need to wake up. I've said enough. We need to wake up as a people. Back in the days, Ghana Airline, where is it today? The Ethiopian airline, is one of the greatest one. Ghana needs to wake up. The whole of Africa. My fight is not for Ghana. My fight is for the African people, the African continent. I see myself as an African and nothing else. Wherever I go, whatever African country I go, is home to me. I'm a son of the African continent. We need to wake up as a people. The Minister of Tourism needs to wake up. Go to some areas in Ghana. It has, beautiful historical stuff. Look, some old buildings are in Ghana which has history, which has, whatever it is. Instead of them to invest into it, they don't. Go to Nigeria. There's some abandoned buildings. Go to Togo. Go to many places in Africa. There's many abandoned building which has historical stuff into it. Instead of them to, the Minister of Tourism to work on it, no. We need to wake up as a people. We need to wake up as a people. African Americans, Afro-Brazilians, Afro-Costa Rican, Afro-Paraguayan, after Afro-Uruguayans, Afro, whatever, Afro-Colombians, you know, you name it. Jamaicans, Barbadian, Bahamian, wherever you come from. Listen, focus on Africa. Somebody needs to speak up. Somebody needs to speak up. The African descendants are being discriminated in the Americas. Go to Brazil. Racism in Brazil is crazy. Go to, different parts of the Americas and see how people of African descent are being treated as animals. We need to wake up. We need to wake up. Stop making deals with France. There's nothing beneficial from France. Stop making deals with the UK, the Britain. They have nothing beneficial for us. Stop making deals with Portugal. Stop making deals with your former colonies and focus on yourself. Look at something about the Israeli. The Israeli are not focusing on, other stuff. Even Israel, they are focusing on their military. They are focusing on stuff which is beneficial to make Israel a better place. And my brothers who are from Sudan and Ethiopia are being discriminated in Israel. They say go back to the jungle you came from in Africa. That's what the racist Israeli tells the Sudanese and our Ethiopian brothers and sisters. Listen, if the African leaders wake up and use this, Africa will be the greatest place ever in the world. Because, listen, this is a problem. Enslavement. When you put enslavement aside, backbiting, Africans, instead of us to unite, we are fighting among ourselves. There's no unity among us. Stupidity that goes on in other African countries. Because this one is from this tribe, I won't vote for this person because of his tribal affiliation. Are you stupid? Are you not black? Are you not African? Are you not the same people? We need to stop this stupidity. We are divided. We hate our own self-hatred. That's what they taught us. When they colonized us, they taught us to hate ourselves. There's misunderstanding between Africans in the US and Africans in the diaspora, the African Americans. There's a lot going on between them. These two. They're fighting among themselves. When will we wake up? When will we wake up? When will we wake up as a people? Many years of colonialism, I think 400 or 500 years of slavery, I believe. And look at where we are today. Africans have built a Western world, but their own continents, they are not building. Foreigners who leave their various countries and come to Africa and make Africa a place that is seek greener pastures, they'll be building, their empire in our own continents. Look at what the Indians are doing in Africa. Look at what the Chinese are doing. Look at what the Lebanese are doing in Africa. They are benefiting from Africa. They are not from your continent, but they are benefiting from their continents. And let me tell you something. If Africans don't wake up, India and China will take over. If Africans don't wake up, India and China will be these two, India and China, is gonna be in power. Listen, do you know how many Indian immigrants are in Africa? Let me tell you something. The Indians, when they make their money, they think about India. They build whatever empires they want to build in Africa. They build whatever, how do you call it? Whatever companies they want to build in Africa. And when they make money, it goes straight to their homelands in India. Same as the Chinese, same as the Lebanese. This message is not about racism. This message is about liberation. This message is about freedom. I have no time to hate somebody. I have no time to hate somebody. My time nowadays is for Africa to be free. If people are going to keep quiet, I'm going to speak. If nobody's not going to do something about it, I am going to do something about it. It's time that we need to do something for our continent. Enough with the fighting among ourselves. Enough with the self-hatred. Africans love Muzungu. Africans love Yevu too much. They don't love themselves. Look at what is going on in South Africa. We need to wake up as a people. If you're an African, if you go to other African country, you're not an immigrant. This border divided. The African Union needs to speak up. Look at the United States of America. 50 states in America. Why don't Africans work together? Why can't Africans work together? Puerto Rico back then was not part of America. But they did a lot. Puerto Ricans have done a lot for America. And because of that, Puerto Rico became part of America. What are we doing? We should build strong alliance. West African alliance, East African alliance, North Africa alliance. We should build an alliance. If we need loans, if we need something to contribute to our various countries, we should look within our own African countries. If Ghana need help, Ghana should go to Nigeria, Ghana should go to Togo, Ghana should go to Benin. If Kenyans need help, they have to go to Uganda, they have to go to Rwanda. I think this will help. I think this little stuff, little drops of water makes a mighty ocean. I think this little stuff will help. Burundi and Rwanda used to be one. Why don't Rwandanese and Burundian work together? We need to wake up as a people. If Africa will be a superpower, then it's the responsibility of our own people. If Africa wants to gain respect, it's on the responsibility of our own people. I've said enough. Create jobs, invest in the military, do stuff which is beneficial for our people. Sometimes I weep, I cry for my own continent. We have visionary leaders, we have visionary youth, but yet nobody's paying attention to them. We need to protect our border. We need to protect our border. Foreigners need to pay tax in our country, in our continent. If they're not paying tax, shut down their business. This nonsense cannot go in the Western world. Because we African people, we have lost our dignity. We have lost self-respect. That's where we are today. People are crossing the desert just to go to Spain, just go to different countries for greener pastures. Whilst we can create whatever we have to create in the continent for, instead of us to make our continent a place of greener pastures, we are not doing it. Everybody wants to go to the Western world. Everybody wants to go to the Western world. Yet, our continent, Africa is not poor, but our continent have become a poor continent. A continent of explore, a place that people explore. Take the resources in the African continent and they take it to the other countries and then make it big. I've said enough. My message to Nana Akufo-Addo: create jobs. My message to Buhari: there's nothing impossible. There's nothing impossible. There's nothing impossible. Yes, we can. If Africans believe in themselves, if Africans use the wisdom that they have, our continent will never lack. We will be the most richest continent. Our people need to wake up. Our people need to wake up. Let's create the year. Let's create the year of return. Not only for African Americans. Let's create for our brothers and sisters in the other parts of the diaspora. We need to do what the Jews are doing. If you are of Jewish descent, they offer sonship. They offer sonship to people who are of Jewish descent, for them to come back to Israel, the Aliyah or whatever they call it. Why can't African leaders sit up and do something? We need to offer sonship to people who are of African descent in the Americas and the Caribbeans and in Asia and the rest. Look at the states of the Shidi people, the Indians of African descent, the Shidis. Look at the states of their people. I watched a documentary. They said they are of East African ancestry. So what are the people of East African doing? They need to create sonship benefit for them to live. Look at, they are being maltreated in India. And in India, there's caste system over there. If you are darker, less opportunity. If you are lighter, you get opportunities to many stuff. We need to wake up, my people. Africans, we need to let love lead. Self-hatred is among Africans, and we need to unite. When Africans don't unite, we perish. No minister is going to tell you this. No politician is not going to tell you this. I will tell you this. We need to wake up. We need to wake up. If Africans want to see greener pastures, it should be among ourselves. If you are Ghanaian, back in the olden days, some Ghanaians used to see greener pastures in Nigeria, and Nigerians used to see greener pastures in Ghana. Why don't we create that bond? Why don't we, the whole of Africa, we should do that. If we need to stop this visa stuff. We need a passport. Look at European Union. If I'm not wrong, there's some places you go in Europe. If you're a European national, you don't need what we call a visa. You're all set. We need to apply this. The African Union needs to set up. We need to set up. The African Union needs to set up and do something about it. We can't come on platform. We can't come on radio FMs and be talking about the same thing over and over again. Less of the talk. We need solution to our problem. We talk too much. Now we need action. This one thing about Kwame Nkrumah. This one thing about Thomas Sankara. This one thing about Patrice Lumumba. When they talk back then, they act. Action. That's what we need. Invest into the militaries. Make our militaries one of the strongest military. And when any foreigner invade into our territory, deport them and take them out. Russia is protecting themselves. So African people need to protect themselves. I've said enough. I'm going off. When you come on, share this video. Let this video go straight to the African Union. Let this video go straight to the African presidents. We have had enough of the nonsense. We need to wake up. God is not going to build Africa. We already have the wisdom to do whatever we have to do for the African continent to be a better place. A big royal salute to Julius Malema, Osman Toure, and other people who are fighting, who are doing the right thing they have to do for the African continent to be a better place. My name is Kwabena Wiredu Ampadu. I am an activist. I am a researcher. I am a freedom fighter. I'm also a griot. And as well, I'm also a humble child of Africa. I love all Africans, Africa for Africans, Africans at home, in the diaspora, or wherever you find yourself. Remember home. Let us all put Africa first. And if you are in the West and you're African or African descent, please, let us come together and go back home and build. Until then, I'll see you later.